You're listening to Ka-Pow, the pop culture podcast. Comics, television, movies, and more. If it impacts fan culture, we have something to say about it. And now, your hosts, Jordan, Cliff, and Seth.
Hey, everybody, and welcome back to Ka-Pow, the pop culture podcast. Happy to have you. My name is Jordan Lowe.
I'm Cliff Barnes.
I'm Seth. I'm excited.
It's that time of year again. The best holiday on the calendar. Free comic book day is right around the corner.
This is something we do every year. Every year.
Right around that first weekend of May, we look forward to. But especially we get excited because we get the scoop early. So we got an in. We got an in with the guy that knows all of what's coming out.
Books started arriving. I got the first batch about 3 weeks ago and the last batch this week. So I've got everything has arrived. I haven't read it all yet, but I've given everything a look.
But you've read some of it?
I've read some of it.
What's going to happen? What's going on?
I'm going to tell you. So, if for some reason you don't know what this is, the first Saturday of May every year is what's known as Free Comic Book Day. Since 2002 was the first year, so now more than 20 years this has been going on. Can you believe it?
And you've been there for most of them.
Yeah. Man, yeah. I remember way back that was happening. That's exciting. We have our own holiday.
Definitely grown every year. These Marvel movies, they started putting a new Marvel movie out that same weekend.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that just makes it even more of an event. We've always got some movie coming out that weekend, kicking off the summer. You know, it's a great time.
So it's a way to celebrate the art form that we love and all the independent comic specialty shops that sell them, because there are no nationwide chains of comic stores. Comic stores are, it's your friendly neighborhood comic shop. Everything is its own little world, its own community. So it's a way to celebrate that comradeship, and a way to open the door, because it might be a little intimidating. Maybe if you've never been in a shop before, you're not sure what they have. This is a day we throw the doors open and say, come on in, see what we got, take some free samples, and enjoy yourself. So the way this is structured, there are a whole bunch of books that stores may have or may not have. There's a wide variety, but anyone participating will have 12 what are known as gold titles. So every shop handing these out will have these 12 while supplies last. So I'll run down the 12 you'll definitely find at the store. So let's get into it. Let's preview these bad boys, starting with the most important, Dogman League of Misfits. Dave Pilkey, the number one creator on the planet, sells the most comic books in the world. If you have a kid under the age of 15, I'm sure you know these books. This one is actually reprint material, sadly. So your kid has probably already read this, because they get into those real fast. New book just came out a couple weeks ago, so there is a new Dogman book on the shelves right now.
So you could buy that one.
Right. Pick that one up. That might be new still. So this collects, it has characters from Dogman and the Captain Underpants series. All right, number 2, Archie Horror presents The Cursed Library.
Oh my goodness.
I like that cover.
Yeah. Robert Hack cover, really cool cover. So the Archie Horror line has been big the last few years. Afterlife with Archie, Jughead as a werewolf, Vampironica. They've just expanded it to crazy amount. So this story, it's kind of teasing who's responsible for creating these dark, chilling adventures in the various versions of Riverdale, and how is babysitter Jinx Holiday at the center of it all? A story years in the making starts here. So the tease is that this character, Jinx Holiday, might be responsible for all these crazy horror stories that we've been reading. We're also launching a new Conan the Barbarian from Titan Comics, has the license now. So this is kicking off a new story. This is original material. This isn't a reprint. Jim Zub and Roberto De La Torre are starting a new series, and this is the prequel to that. Starring a young Conan on the eve of his first major battle, pictures a life of adventure. So this is, if you've never read a Conan story before or haven't been in it recently, this is a good jumping on point. Not to be outdone, Dynamite has Red Sonja. This is the 50th anniversary of Red Sonja.
Wow.
And starting a new adventure here. There's a film in production, so this is trying to kind of reboot the series for a new audience. Also collect some of the original Marvel story in the back.
Man, I Beastmaster and Red Sonja, man, that was a TBS classics for me growing up.
Beastmaster. That used to creep me out.
I loved Beastmaster. Still love it. I made my kids watch it a couple years ago.
Scared all his beasts.
Next up was a Beastmaster comic. Oh, no.
Oh, that would have been awesome. What a twist.
From Dark Horse, we're getting an Umbrella Academy story with a backup from The Witcher. So these are both original stories. Gabriel Baugh, the original artist, also writes this one. A story about Hargreaves embarking on an interdimensional journey and finds a cosmic horror. And then in the short Witcher story, Geralt must uncover why the young women in Novigrad are turning into frogs. So those are two new stories you won't find anywhere else. Image has a new book by Jeff Lemire, Fish Flies. It's kind of a small-town horror story. This previews that series that's coming out this summer about a town infested with bad omens and tiny insects, where a runaway girl befriends a monster. Aftershock. Just because you went bankrupt doesn't mean you can't participate in Free Comic Day. Aftershock has a book called Seismic Stories. These are two original stories, a prologue to the young reader graphic novel The Darkness We Brought Back, and an all-new story from the world of Animosity, which is a story where all the animals take over the world. Some of the manga from Viz. Chojin X. Two best friends are attacked one night by a superhuman mutant, turning one of them into a mutant himself. That's no fake noodles.
Yeah, I feel like I should be writing these titles down for future use.
Yeah, future,
Flip book, Rooster Fighter.
Oh, Rooster Fighter.
In a
That
world
sounds fake.
where terrifying monsters walk the earth, one heroic rooster is destined for greatness. Real, 100%. Boom has Ranger Academy, spinoff of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Classes in session for a bold new take on the Power Rangers mythology. An excellent jumping on point with new characters, younger characters being trained to be a ranger.
I think there's a new Power Rangers movie coming out on Netflix, isn't there? Like with the original, some of the original
the original
ones?
cast. Yeah. Star Trek from IDW. They've been putting out a whole lot of Star Trek books, like we've seen on Paramount Plus. There's a whole lot of Star Trek content recently. There's almost as many comic books. So this one is a prelude to IDW's first Star Trek summer crossover event called Day of Blood. So if you're going to try to follow that, this is the prelude to it. And the backup features a Lower Decks story, which is the comedic animated take. So I think that's written by Ryan North of Squirrel Girl fame. So if you like your Trek silly, that's a good read. All right, from Marvel. Marvel has 2 gold books, guys, if you can believe it. The first, Uncanny Avengers. So these are a pair of original stories. The first one stars the X-Men, sets the stage for Fall of X, which is the big summer storyline about to launch. And the second introduces an uncanny new lineup for a new team book launching next year. So we've done that before where some of the Avengers and some of the X-Men kind of team together. It also has a preview of Jonathan Hickman's upcoming mystery project. And I Googled it, and this has been revealed before. So I'm not spoiling anything, but there's a series coming out called Gods. GODS. It's like an acronym. I'm not sure what that is. Fall of 2023, dramatically reshaping Marvel's pantheon of cosmic beings. So Jonathan Hickman's going to get all cosmic and heady and do a whole big event with the cosmic characters. All right, the other Marvel book is Spider-Man and Venom. Again, these are original stories, one tying into the current Spider-Man run, and one setting the stage. They're calling this the Summer of Symbiotes. Both Venom and Carnage have these big events coming up, so this helps tie into that. Also features the first look, more Hickman goodness, Ultimate Invasion. We know we're going back to the world of the Ultimates, with art by Brian Hitch, who launched that book originally in the 2000s and kind of set the look for a whole decade of Marvel stories. So you'll get a first peek at the Ultimate Invasion. All right, those are the gold books. So those 12, that's a dozen you should expect to see. The silver titles will vary by store. Just depends on who orders what and what's left over. DC has 3 books. They are no longer with Diamond, so they don't count on the posters and the advertising, but they still get the logo. So somebody let them have the logo. They're still involved.
Okay.
So DC's main book, their year-long initiative, Dawn of DC, where they're relaunching a bunch of new titles and starting a bunch of new storylines. This one, Night Terrors, spelled with a K, of course, because everything in DC is night. Night Terror Special Edition. So this is an original story by Joshua Williamson, art by Chris Bachalo, who has not done a DC book in ages. So he has been pretty much exclusively Marvel. So we get some weird Chris Bachalo horror art, and it looks pretty sweet. So Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman need Dead Man's help when an investigation leads them beyond the land of the dead and into a realm of nightmares. So they're going to launch a whole bunch of 2-issue miniseries, 2-month event, July and August, called Night Terrors. A bunch of heroes and villains confronting their worst nightmares. So there's a whole bunch of books coming out. Here's the whole list of them. Action Comics, Batman, Black Adam, Catwoman, Detective, Harley, Poison Ivy, Punchline, Robin, Shazam, The Flash, The Joker, Wonder Woman, Zatanna. So tons of 2-issue stories set in this strange nightmare reality. You'll get your first look on May 6th. DC has a couple books for younger readers. Girl Taking Over is a Lois Lane story, young adult graphic novel about an ambitious small-town girl spending a summer in the big city. So this is kind of like the opening chapter to that. You can get a sample of the young reader's book starring Lois Lane. And then a flip book, Clark and Lex, and Fan Club Batman Squad. So these are previews of 2 middle grade graphic novels.
Oh, okay.
One is about Clark Kent's summer internship in Metropolis, where he meets a dude named Lex Luthor. And one is about a little kid who idolizes Batman and sets up his own crime-fighting unit. So that's a very silly, cartoony take on little kids trying to fight.
I guess
crime.
I was picturing Lex bald, but I guess not in middle school, huh?
That is luscious locks, Lex. All right, so those are the DC ones. Now on to the silver books. Again, these aren't all of them. I'll just give you a quick overview of some of the biggest ones. So keep a lookout. Marvel has another one, Marvel Voices. This is the anthology series that spotlights minority characters by minority creators. So there's one original new story in this one, and then a collection of some of the best from the previous one-shots. spotlighting Marvel's diverse and ever-evolving universe. So you're getting Ms. Marvel, Miles Morales, Photon, Monica Rambeau, Black Panther, that kind of deal. I think this will be a big one. Spidey and His Amazing Friends, based on the Disney Junior show. You're going to get the all-ages Spider-Verse characters, fun, easy to read, big panels. Preview of an upcoming graphic novel called I Am Stan.
Ooh.
First graphic novel biography of legendary Stan Lee.
Oh, I want one of them.
Eisner-nominated artist Tom Scioli. So it's going back to the original.
Show me an inner.
Original 60s era. Stan, Jack, and Steve. And the Marvel bullpen.
Yeah, I'm hyped for that.
I wish I got one for our pal Jesse. Madballs versus Garbage Pail Kids.
Nice.
Wow.
He's gonna like that cover.
Specifically for him. This is reprints collecting some of the best short stories from the very gross crossover from Dynamite Comics featuring the beloved 80s properties. We've got Last Comics on Earth. So this is based on the super popular Last Kids on Earth book. Their novels and graphic novels.
Yeah.
So the idea is the kids from that series are creating their own comic book. So the kids from the novel series, this is the book that they would have created. We've got a couple video game tie-ins from Viz. Animal Crossing and Kirby Manga Mania. So, the pink, fluffy Kirby guy. And I think everybody loves Animal Crossing.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of kids grabbing Animal Crossing.
Investigators. All tied up. A sample of the upcoming graphic novel.
Are these gators that are investigators?
They are spies.
What?
And also,
how have I never heard of this? Is this like a long-running thing? Because that seems like a very obvious title.
Yeah, All Tied Up is the 7th.
Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Right. I've gotten all these for my niece because she loves alligators.
Yes, and spying.
Sure. So I just assume she loves this, and haven't heard anything negative about it. So.
Yeah. Yet.
Smurfs is the 65th anniversary of the Smurfs.
Oh man,
that's crazy.
65th.
Yeah. Wow.
Those came out earlier than I thought.
So these are some of the originals from the original artist Ka-Pow. The comics that inspired the cartoon, toys, Nickelodeon series, and upcoming.
I used to have like all the little Smurf figurine things when I was a kid. Like you could buy it. We buy them a Hallmark. And my mom would buy them for me. So I had like 50 or 60 Smurfs on this thing in my wall, my bedroom. I was like, do I want all these? What happened?
I saw a whole box of those.
Oh my god!
At a flea market like a couple weeks ago.
It definitely is Smurfs, like that is a wave of nostalgia whenever I see anything Smurfs. Like, oh my gosh.
Life was simpler 65 years ago.
Yeah, it feels like it not that long ago.
All right. We've also got from Scholastic, #1 publisher on the planet, Sweet Babysitter's Little Sister. Preview of the upcoming graphic novel. Always in the top 20 every year of the graphic novels sold. We've also got Sweet Valley Twins from Random House. Preview of that. The second, these were the novels written in the 80s for young readers. They're now adapting those original novels into graphic novels. So you can get a sample of that one.
Wow.
We've got a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles book.
What?
These are not tied into the current main series. These are kind of the kid-friendly ones. So the main story in this one is from the Saturday Morning Adventures line, which they've been doing, to make it looks like, animation style art. And then the backup story is from Rise of the TMNT, which is the more modern version of the cartoon.
Nice.
Style. So, some turtles for younger readers. And last but not least, Dark Horse has a Star Wars: The High Republic Adventures and Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Combo.
So in the Star Wars story, a shuttle full of younglings gets caught in the crossfire in a conflict between the Jedi Order and the Nihil, the villains, the bad guys, the Sith. I don't know who they are, but they're hurting kids. And then,
but they're hurting kids.
And then
They sound terrible.
Bad stuff. An Avatar, Aang and his friends come across a village decimated by the Fire Nation. So hey, you can't go wrong with Star Wars and any incarnation. So again, your shop might have way more than that. Your shop might have less than that, but that's a sample of some of the bigger, more the books we would be looking forward to. So hey, there you go. That's what you should be on the lookout for on May 6th at your friendly local comic shop. You can go to comicshoplocator.com, find a shop in your area. If you're not sure where your local shop is, there should be somewhere close. So take the kids, take the neighbors, take the whole family, pick out some free comics, go see Guardians of the Galaxy, make it a weekend, and enjoy this comic book life we're leading.
Grab those kids in your life that maybe you don't think have been exposed to comic books, and let them maybe check it out. That you're not shoving it in their faces. Let them, maybe they'll like it, maybe they won't, but I'm sure they'll like to go someplace where other kids are stopping by that day, because it's a big holiday and it's free.
And we're going to try to get back to a little bit what we used to do before the pandemic sidelined us, and we're going to have some video games and coloring pages and temporary tattoos and balloons and all kind of fun goodness. So
heck yeah.
If you're in Marietta, you might even run into a couple of us.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. We want them to go, Cliff. Sounds good. Right. Another good year.
So make a list. You can go to freecomicbookday.com, has all these and all the creative teams and some samples of the pages. So if you got a plan and know what you're looking for when you go, you can even hit up a couple shops, whatever. I'm not jealous. Go all around the region and see what's out there.
Tell them about your how they might be able to get an extra issue or.
Oh yeah, that's right. We are doing a food drive for the Tri-County Food Pantry. So at my specific store, Asylum, anyone who shows up can get 3 comics, no strings attached, no purchase necessary. But if you bring a canned food donation or a $1 donation, you can get extra comics. So for however many things you want to donate, you can take home some extra comics. So you can do a little good while you're reading books.
Yeah, it's awesome. Awesome sauce. Sounds good.
All right. We will see you on May 6th. Till then, my name is Jordan Lowe.
Cliff Barnes.
I'm Seth. Bye forever.
Ka-Pow, the pop cultured podcast, is intended for entertainment and information purposes only. Sounds, music, and clips played during the podcast are property of copyright holders. All original content is property of www.udownwithkpp.com. If you enjoyed this podcast, please subscribe and leave a comment. Ka-Pow, the pop cultured podcast, can be found on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Podbean, Spotify, and wherever podcasts can be found. You can connect with us through social media on Facebook, YouTube, at the Ka-Pow Podcast on Twitter, or email the show, Ka-Pow, the pop cultured podcast @gmail.com. If you really want to go the extra mile, join our Patreon at patreon.com/udownwithkpp for special content and access to Patreon only benefits. We are grateful for anyone who chooses to contribute, but please know that most of our content will remain free. So please continue to like, comment, and share.